It's Ron Goodoff from FightHype.com. I'm here with the 5-time Golden Glove gold medalist from possibly the best boxing Olympic team of all time. Not one, but 2-time welterweight champion, and also a current trainer of the longest reigning current heavyweight champion of the world. I'm here with Mark Breland. That amount of accomplishments is just incredible. I appreciate you giving the time to interview you. And I guess the first thing I wanted to talk about was just your incredible amateur, background. That I would say is practically a picture-perfect accomplishments that you have that a lot of boxers would want to have. The Golden Gloves, and then not just one, but you had 5.
I mean, my amateur career was a lot of fun. Scary in the beginning, but a lot of fun. It was to where I remember my first fight, amateur fight of my life. And after the fight, I won the fight. And after the fight, I thought to myself, wow. I mean, I won, but somebody had videoed it, and I seen all that. I'm like, wow, I gotta change that up. But then the next fight, I looked a lot better. And as I progressed and fought, back then we called them smoker fights, where it wasn't on your book. And I had about, so like the 110, that's on record. I had about 80 smoker fights, 90 smoker fights. And that's what really helped me out a lot. And, coming up, I wasn't in a, like now, right now, it's totally different. You gotta be sanctioned, you gotta have this. And now you got some of the judges, I'm like, won that fight. And so, there's a lot of that now.
Now, it seems like now the Olympic medal, a lot of fighters don't really try to pursue that as much as they used to. Seeing that you had 110 wins, right, and 1 loss, and he turned pro before you can get him again.
No, I fought him when I turned pro.
Oh,
Yeah, Darryl Anthony.
Oh yeah, okay. So you avenged every, so.
Yeah, I got him back. I think my 4th fight, or 3rd, I got him back. I wanted to fight him back the first fight, but I like, no.
How were you able to get that? Like, were you just kind of like, I want him?
No, I kept telling him. I said, when I turn pro, I want to fight Darryl Anthony. And everybody kept saying, all right, we'll get him back. And finally, we got the fight.
So, in essence, everyone's been, avenged.
Everybody,
the one
loss. Like, this one, to me it was a big thing.
Yeah.
Get that 1 loss off the record.
Well, when I look at your accomplishments, going back, why do you think a lot of people don't want to become like the gold medalist? You're coming from the most historical Olympic team I've seen from the lineup. You guys dominated the whole Olympics.
I mean, well, it's funny where, they compare us to the, what's that team, 84, 70, the Olympics with Ray Leonard.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah, they keep comparing us with that. I'm like, I tell them, I say, hey, we won a medal, they won a medal. I said, we did win more medals. I said, but we won more medals, we won more championships, and pros. But I thought they had a great team. It's just different era.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
this era just no longer interested. I've heard people say like, they can turn pro and make, money right away. Sometimes getting a gold medal doesn't guarantee you that.
Not no more. And it's a thing where now, well, I guess since different promoters, promoters now, the fighters get more money now than they did back then. It'll change up. It'll because at one time, they were making a lot of money. Then it changes up. And you had the Don King, you had the Bob Arum, all these different people. So it's like it just changes up all the time.
You think the promoters now have, I wouldn't say spoil the fighters, but like they've changed the game. It's not the same.
I know. I look at it as a thing of where I like what they're doing. I mean, don't get me wrong. What we do, is not easy. I mean, we in the gym in the morning, running, and you're getting hit upside the head all day. Mm-hmm. Sparring, whatever. I mean, you constantly getting hit. They talk about football players. I'm like, I understand that. I understand 100%. Same thing. Banging all day. Everybody's hitting everybody upside the head. You try to get more protection with different helmets and this and that. But still, we can't wear them. We can't wear helmets. We got 6, 8 ounce gloves. Certain weight classes were a little higher. I guess the 10 ounce is the most. But still, when you get hit, it hurts.
So from that point, I guess a lot of times people compare like the previous era, from your era, from Tommy Hearns,
right.
Marvin Hagler, and like it's just not the same. It's these fighters are different. Is there any truth to that, or it's just?
Well, I mean, the fighters back then were much more schooled in the sense of we're more, like Marvin Hagler was just tough guy, come and take a good shot. Tommy Hearns, good puncher, great boxer, great puncher. But I mean, Hagler was tough, and I caught him. Ray Leonard, great fighter. All it was a great era. All fighters who, we fought each other and got whoever won, may fight again, may not fight again.
Do you think there is more value on the loss now opposed to then? You would see guys lose often and still, have trilogies and then fight the same opponents. And now everyone's afraid to lose their O. Is that?
Well, the O's are so. I mean, it's. How can I put it? Well. Starting off pro, you fight 20, 30 bombs back now. But back then you didn't fight, you wasn't going to get 20 bombs, 30 bombs. So, but now you fight, now they get it like that. And, then they're great fighters and they're this and that and this. But I'm like, okay, man, if that's going to make them great, we decided to do it that way.
Does that hurt the fighter's development when it comes to going through the professionals? I've seen fights where Sugar Ray Leonard or yourself would have like tougher opposition in the beginning. Mm-hmm. I know Sugar Ray Leonard didn't get the first round knockout, or
right.
He would go the distance a few times, but the opponent was tough, and it already looked kind of like he was already midway in his professional career. The way that he was fighting his opponents and the way his opponents would have the resilience to fight back.
Right. I mean, that helps you later on. That helps you later on in your career. But now, they don't. Now it's like you 30, 40 and 0 fighting a guy with 30 losses and 2 knockouts. Come on.
How would you move boxers in this modern era in a sense of when you would step them up? I know everything's different. You have
right.
to see what.
Well, you want to spar with certain type of fighters. Then then you have them fight certain type of fighters. Then you fight somebody the next level coming up. You look at a guy. You can look at certain fighters and like, I would do this and I would do that, and I'll just show the fighter basically what to do. and hopefully it come off. You can beat that person. Normal from what I see.
Now, do you also think that, I think we talked a little bit off camera about trainers, a lot of old school traits don't get passed on. I've had other trainers tell me that as well. Simple things, it's just like, just go to the heavy bag and just punch it. You don't have to do all the pretty, flashy power work or even some of the new technology that they use, just traditional.
A lot of the stuff they do now, and it's like kind of out of the way. But hitting the bag and stuff like that, it's okay. I mean, it's the thing of where. Hold on a second.
No, go ahead. Now, we originally left off where we were talking about, trainers being different opposed to then to now, and we were talking a little bit off camera, and you were mentioning some of the problems that we see in modern.
Yeah, I mean, you have trainers who, if the fighter's tired and he comes back to the corner, and and the trainer's like, okay, look, I need you to do this. All right, now you gotta do this. Come on, stand up. He don't get none of that. It's like his brain is not working with that. He wants some more. First of all, he wants some water. And he wants you to calm down. Because look, first of all right. Now you're making me feel like I'm losing. Even if I had a great round, I'm coming back in. All right, now look. Now you're screaming at me. I'm like, yo, am I winning? Wasn't that a good round? Yo, calm down. And I guess it's the personality of the fighter. The fighter could deal with that, but it's like my thing. I'm like, if I'm relaxed, just keep it relaxed. I'm like, if I get hit hard and get hurt or whatever, come back to the corner. Okay, all right. Just tell me what you gotta tell me. But you can't tell me but so much because I can't pick up all that. We're not gonna pick up. And if a fighter tell you, y'all pick up everything, he's lying.
And you mentioned that, a lot of that stuff comes from just being, a fighter yourself, being experienced through that, so you can relate to that. And I know that you were mentioning not necessarily all trainers have to be a professional boxer to be good trainers. I know that you can respect anyone who understands the craft. But, with that experience, just knowing what the fighter goes through, is that more beneficial for the fighter? Because I've heard Floyd say, like, you can't be like my trainer, I can't have a trainer who's never boxed before,
I can understand that because it's a thing where he understands what I'm doing. He understands what I'm going through. A lot of the fighters, a lot of trainers that never fought, they say, well, I know, but I play basketball, I play the sport, I play the tough sport. Have you ever got punched in your face a few times, banged in the stomach a few times, and running, and for like 3 minutes, and all of a sudden you come sit back down, and now you gotta get right back up out there. And it's not that easy. You get hit, you get hit, you're tired, you're exhausted. It's not that easy just to get out there and just do everything perfect. Or do everything when you just dead tired. And as a trainer, you try to tell, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, I want you to do. And if you are, if you panic, I mean, I've been in the corner. If you panic, and you the trainer, and I'm the fighter, I'm like. I swear it has happened to me. One of my trainers, and I'm like, oh. I said, am I losing? No. I was like, okay. But I mean, it's a thing of where, every fighter is different. Some fighters, I think, get off on that. Like, oh man, okay, yeah. And like I said, fighters are different. Everybody's different. Some people enjoy that, and some people don't. But I guess people who looked at the Rocky movies and all the yelling and screaming, they figure that's boxing, so it's like they deal with it.
Now, even going back to the trainers of yesteryear to even some of the trainers now, I've heard people saying some of the techniques or certain traits or skills has been lost and hasn't been properly traded to the next generation. Certain feints or certain traps.
Well, I mean, like things in boxing, feints and just different, different tactics they use. Moving the guy around, spinning him around. They don't do a lot of that stuff now. If you tell a guy feint, he might just pass out and sleep. They don't feint when you get in the middle of the ring, like fall out. But like they don't feint. If they do feint, they show you what they're showing you what they're doing. A lot of them don't know how to feint, and it's just a thing of where a lot of well, I learned how to feint by watching fighters, just looking at boxing and doing it. So I've done it for so long, and it's fun. I mean, I used to watch guys do it, and like, oh, he didn't hit him. The guy did all this, but he didn't get hit. And I'm like, wow. And so I picked up on him, and I started doing a lot of that. And a lot of fun.
Now, I've seen this interview you did on Laugh on Sight, and give him props for it. That you were talking about one of the fighters that you thought had a great feint was Tommy Hearns.
Oh yeah.
Could you just elaborate more within like what made his feint so great?
Well, when I sparred with him, I was 17. I sparred with him, and I'm like, okay. And basically, we was like doing this. I thought we were doing the same thing. And I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden, his hand come up, and I'm like, wow. And then all of a sudden, the right hand came, pow. Holy shit. But I was just thrown off completely. I'm like, wow. And so I'm like, that's how you think. Because, like, I mean, you got the camera, but it's like I'm right here. And so when he feints, it's right here. So it's like, right back, bam. You don't even see the right hand coming. So I'm like, wow. I mean, he was great at it. I mean, double feint. You feint the right hand.
What's a double feint for someone who doesn't know?
Like a double feint, jab, feint, boom. Feint with a jab, feint with the right hand, come on the hook right hand. It's a jab or feint twice. Just back-to-back feints.
And a lot of people don't do just simple back-to-back.
No, a lot of them don't even feint. A lot of fighters don't even feint today.
What other crafty feints that you've seen? I've been watching a lot of fighters in the past, like Benitez and Salvador Sanchez, and they're.
You'll never see no more of those guys.
What'd you say?
You never see no more of those guys.
No more of those guys? They're done?
No, you won't see. You don't see it.
Oh, you don't see that.
No. Benitez, you'll never see another Alfredo Benitez.
What made those guys so special that they just can't be duplicated now?
He's one of my favorite fighters as far as defensive. Behind him is Pernell Whitaker.
Oh, really? So Benitez was over...
Well, Benitez was just, when he fought Tommy, I'm at the fight. I'm like, I fought Tommy for that fight. But I'm at the fight. And when Tommy threw the right, when he was in the corner, and Tommy threw about 4 or 5. He threw about 5 or 6. He threw a couple combinations and missed every punch.
I think that was like to be in the fight.
In the second round.
Yeah.
He hit him, boom, Benitez went in the corner, and he slipped. He slipped every punch in the bell rung, and just looked at him. I'm like, oh, damn. I'm like, but he didn't flinch. I'm like, he just.
From a guy like Hearns, that's a scary
that's scary. And his whole thing was like, if you get me on the ropes, you're not gonna hit me. And Tommy kind of knew, because it's like, I'm swinging at this guy, I'm not hitting him at all. But I'll catch him. I'll have to box him to catch him.
Now, the rope maneuvering. is that something that isn't seen as much on the ropes?
And you're not gonna see it as much.
Well, why is like the rope-a-dope is just not used?
Benitez gets on the ropes and he uses his legs, but he pushes off. He know how to come back, push off. Pernell, same thing. Pernell would drop down. He was crazy. He would drop down, and you know, it's just but just so. It was just so easy for them to do it. Just, you know, Pernell would drop down, come back up, turn her sideways, and I'm like, how did you do it?
Did you think he was crazy going down at, you know, as low as sometimes down to his knees and going?
No, I mean, you know, Pernell was funny. He was a comedian all the time, and you know, I would always say, Pernell, I want to box you. He was like, no. I'm like, why? I said, no. I said, nobody can punch you. I said, I'm gonna see if I can hit you. He said, no. He said, Mark, you couldn't hit me. I said, no. I just want to spar with you one time. And matter of fact, we was in the amateurs. I said, I just want to spar with you one time and see if I can hit you. He said, no. He said, no, because you're not gonna hit me. I said, but that's what I want to see. He said, that's what I know already, because I'm not getting in there with you. So you're not gonna hit me. But I always want to spar. You never spar.
Never, ever. Oh man.
But I mean, he was just so. I used to watch him do different things, and I'm like, wow.
In sparring, you've seen him spar with other.
I see him spar with guys and do stuff, and I'm like, and you know, and I'll watch some of the things he do. I'll try him. Like with Benitez, I've tried all the stuff he would do. I just, you know, and it's like a thing of where, wow, it's scary, but it's nice, you know, because it's like you're slipping punches and you're making this guy tired by slipping, because you get a guy who's tired and he's swinging, wow, and you just drop it, coming back up. You got to know where you're at the time.
Who do you think is the best defensive fighter in the modern era, knowing that you've seen your friend Pernell, you being a great defensive fighter as well, you know, Benitez being someone that you grew up watching. Is there anyone in this era right now that you feel can implement some of those old school traits from those guys? Is there any type of fighters right now that you see, or no?
No, because they don't have that movement. You know, it's like that. You know, you get these guys coming. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying these guys are not.
Yeah, no.
They're fighters, but that movement, that, you know, the way they do it is like, it's like a show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like a guy gets on the rope and starts slipping. You don't see that. You know, and they say, Adrian Broner, no, he's not even close to that.
What about a lot of people like Terrence Crawford?
Crawford's a good fighter, but defensively, I mean, he's southpaw, but defensively, well, I've never seen, okay, put it this way, I've never seen him in battle when he has to move and just, you know, with somebody who can swing, with somebody with fast hands, not somebody who's throwing cement at you, you know, with cement in their glove. These guys got fast hands. Tommy Hearns got fast hands. Ray Leonard had fast hands. Benitez was slipping punches with him. I'm like, damn. But you're not gonna. You're not gonna see that.